What's up, internet? My name's Ori. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. Today we're going over Digital Daily number 18. Now, this was all post-veto competition and nominees, but pre-veto ceremony. All this info just to give you an idea of where we're at. And let me just be kind of upfront with the info we do know for sure. Santina is the HOH. We kind of knew that from the last Digital Daily, where she told Jonathan, but I don't know if she actually told anyone else. It seems like Jonathan's the only one who knows for sure. The nominees ended up being Dan and Ty. We also know who the veto winner is, and that's Daniel. There may be a potential plan to use the veto to save Ty, but we'll kind of talk about that when we get there. First off, the conversation we kind of start things with is Claudia and John, and there wasn't really much here, but they were talking about how, Dan is a real big comp threat, like not just with physical stuff, but with the veto that took place. It was kind of more of a mental one where he had like a really good strategy at least to it. So they're saying he's smart. So he's just overall a very good comp piece, somebody that they need to get out sooner or later. And then one thing I really want to mention, because it's just a little pet peeve of mine, they were like, oh, all three of the evictions that we've had so far have all been backdoors. Well, not technically. So one of these little pet peeves that I have is a backdoor is when the replacement nominee does not play in the veto competition. Zach played in the veto competition. JM, Roberto, actual backdoors, because Roberto was not in the veto competition. JM was not in the veto competition. Zach played, so technically Zach's not a backdoor since he had a chance to win the veto, but he was the replacement nominee. So all three have been replacement nominees who have gone, but an actual backdoor, the true definition is the replacement nominee not playing in the veto comp because they have no chance to save themselves. But again, that's just a little pet peeve of mine. It's kind of like the floater coaster kind of a thing, like a coaster. They just sit there, they're on the table to make sure nothing gets wet. A floater will go between groups back and forth, floating, legitimate strategy. Coasting, like, why are you here? Get out of here. Anyway, we can move on to the next convo, because listen, let me be honest. There weren't that many really good conversations. We had just a handful where we got some like good information. But for the most part, it was pretty dull on this daily. So the next convo we got, it was John, HoH, and Santina, and they were just kind of in the kitchen talking about, studying the days and the competitions. This is where we learned the veto is called the power heist. So I'm assuming it was some kind of like stealing thing that you had to do. I don't know 100% how the competition went, but that was the name of it. And this is where they kind of say to Santina, like, oh, like Dan won, like he's just chilling today. Like it has to be him who won. Wasn't, it was Daniel, but we'll get to how we know that and who knows that in just a bit. Koozie ends up having a little cam talk, and she was kind of talking about how she wants to make sure she's close to everyone so that whoever she's up against, they're more likely to take her off the block or vote them out, so that she's kind of just socially connected really well in the house, which is 100% a great strategy. My only worry is with Koozie at this point is because she made such a big move in getting Zach out, she might get seen as like, hey, she's the guaranteed winner. If any of us are sitting next to her in the end, she'll beat us, right? Like I could see Daniel and Anika both realizing that. And if it came down to a final three situation, Koozie's gone, right? Koozie would have to win that final three HOH or else she's not winning the game. So that's my only worry with Koozie right now is she's going to be seen as someone who has a really good chance to win this game. So she almost wants to downplay what she's doing at this point just to be able to get the target on other people first. But I think she's going to be okay for a while. She then talks about how she wants to make sure that Ty knows when he comes off the block that she pushed for it so that he kind of owes her. So she's already aware of, Daniel winning the veto and him wanting to use it on Ty. But we'll actually get more of that conversation later. But she wants to use that as like, hey, Ty, I made this happen, right? Like, I'm the one who did this. So it kind of grows their connection a little bit more. She thinks that Santina is the HOH. She is. And she says at some point, Santina has to be cut. They have to get rid of her. She's too good. And she says whenever anybody kind of brings up how smart Santina is, she actually tries to downplay that a little bit. So that others don't want to go to her over Koozie to work with. I mean, that's an interesting play on it, but like if you're trying to push that you're smarter, again, that's kind of making a bigger target on you in the end, because then people are going to think, well, yeah, Koozie's really smart. We have to get rid of her. We then got Koozie, Daniel, and Hope kind of chatting, and they talk about, if Dan would come off, it could be Koozie that goes up. And she's worried about like Ty potentially flipping the vote, especially since they wouldn't know who the HOH was. Then we go real quickly to Claudia and Renee, who are kind of just chatting, eating salad, talking about like who it possibly could be. And then Claudia was interested because she said last week everybody kept saying like, oh, it's Zach then Ty, Zach then Ty. And now this week, like, they're saying Dan, not so much Ty. And she's like, are they just saying that to say it? Like, are they saying it to me just because it's me and they know I'm close to Ty? She's just not 100% sure on that. And then this is where we got maybe the most interesting conversation. Hope, John, Koozie, and Daniel all in the bathroom. Kind of a continuation of the last conversation before Claudia and Renee, but with Jonathan now involved too. And this is where Daniel pretty much tells everybody in that room, like, listen, like, I won the veto and I want to use it, right? Like it's kind of a thing where it's like, I want to see what your opinions are on it, but if you're really against it, I won't use it, but I kind of want to because it would help his game. And this is also where I'm thinking like, oh, Daniel, one, why are you telling anybody? Right? Like if you won this thing, you should just keep it completely a secret, right? Don't tell anyone. Like, I just don't understand why people have this urge to be like, yeah, it's me, right? Like, if you want to tell people weeks down the line after the fact, maybe that works for you, right, in the game. But I just don't see a benefit of ever telling anyone, even if you trust them 100%, because that's just a way for it to get out or be used against you later on down the line. But kind of his idea here is he wants to use it to take Ty down. And they don't know who the replacement nominee would be. And this is kind of me assuming that Jonathan didn't share with them that Santina is the HOH since he knows. He's just been telling them, like, look, they're okay. I think all of them kind of assume it's Santina, but it is what it is. So they want to take Ty down so that he would have at least like some kind of an ode to Daniel and wouldn't put Daniel up on the block, because the ultimate goal is they have this new alliance called the Crown. It's Koozie, Daniel, Jonathan, Hope, and I assume Anika is in there too. I'm not 100%, but I'm going to throw her in there just because it makes sense that she would be a part of this group. I don't think Santina's involved in it or any of the other girls. I think it's just those 5. And the idea would be is if they take Ty down, kind of tell him like, look, Daniel, like I did this for you, Ty. He wouldn't put Daniel on the block. They don't think he would put Koozie on the block or Anika. So the only thing they would have to worry about is if John or Hope ended up on the block, and it's more than likely that he would probably go after someone like Renee. They're thinking probably not, but that's who they're like. If he would end up putting us up, it's less of a chance that he would put 2 of us up, and then we still have the numbers. After that, we ended up getting Koozie looking at a plant, and I actually went to check to see if this was a new plant on the stairs or if this was just like something that had been there the whole time. It's been there for a while. It was at least there since Zach was in the house, because it was in during his fight with him. So she was kind of looking through the plant on the stairs to see if she could find anything. She gets caught by Renee, who's just like, you're too funny. But then they end up going to the bedroom and they have a little bit of chat where, Renee was kind of asking Koozie, like, who do you think the HOH is? She's like, I think it probably John or Santina. She's like, I originally thought it was Ty and Dan, but obviously it's not them. And then she's like, maybe it's even Nene because she's so chill, right? Like she's just not even trying to figure out who it is. Claudia ends up joining them. They talk about, staying girls strong and how they've gotten 3 guys out now already. If they get another guy out and then one more in the double, they're really looking good and things can go smoothly after that as well. There was also a little chat that we had with Jonathan and Hope, which was kind of similar, where they were just kind of talking about how, like, listen, if we could just get, Dan and Ty out, like, we're looking really good in this whole situation. But yeah, that pretty much covers what happened in the daily. I do have a new alliance chart. So let's pull this on up here. We have the crown added. I've named them the girly pops. We've only heard it once. We've only heard it used as a name once by Renee in the DR, but I feel like we need something to call that group just to differentiate them from the bigger girl group and the Shady Bunch. The way I see it, at least, the Shady Bunch is smack down in the middle. They've got the crown on one side, and then they got the group with the girly pops on the other. They can really choose where they want to go. You then have the 2 trios underneath, right? You got the girly pops, and then you have Hope, Jonathan, and Santina, who seem to have really kind of come together as this like threesome kind of that's been going on. More so, it seems that Jonathan and Santina are the closer of those two. I don't know how much Santina and Hope really are trusting each other just yet. I don't even think she's told Hope that she's the HOH. And then right in the middle there, you got Ty and Dan, who are just the house targets. Almost everyone is looking at them two being the next ones to go up and out of this house. So we'll see how this all really kind of plays out. What do you guys think of everything going on? Do you think that the crown is where the Shady Bunch will be more loyal? Or do you think it's going to be more with the girls that they're more loyal? I would tend to lean that they would be more loyal to the girly pops, just because they would see Hope and Jonathan as threats to their game of people who could beat them in competitions. So I would imagine they'd be more loyal to the other side. But they're in that good spot where as long as they are not, going against them too much, Hope and Jonathan will protect them and the girls will protect them. So it doesn't matter who wins HOH. They should be in a good spot. Plus, with Koozie and Dan trying to get a good relationship with Ty, if he ends up staying, next week they're sitting pretty. It literally doesn't matter who would win HOH. They're all in a really good spot. Maybe Santina would throw one of them up there with Ty if she were to win HOH again, because that's one of the benefits of this being a invisible HOH is Santina gets to play again next week. But yeah, that pretty much covers everything. Not too much to really go over. But what do you guys think of everything going on inside the house? Let me know in those comments down below. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video? Hit that like button, especially if you made it all the way to the end of this video and you like my alliance chart here. Smash that like button. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a video, you never miss a stream. All the links to my socials are in the description and a pinned comment down below. You can check out my Twitter, my Twitch, my Discord, the new Kick stream. Go follow the Kick stream. We're trying to get affiliate over there. We need to get to 75 followers or something like that. So go hit that follow button on there. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And I will see you next time.